Hey, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Zen Mind Peaceful Life, the place where we explore the cosmic energies, personal growth, and self-discovery. Today, I'm diving deep into something exciting. Something that could change everything for our Sagittarius friends out there. If you're a Sagittarius, or you know one, you know that we're known for our love of adventure, risk-taking, and a little bit of that what-if energy. But, what if the risks we take are actually more life-changing than we think? What if June holds a cosmic challenge that could either lead to massive success, or a big, expensive lesson? Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait, I'm a Sagittarius, and I love taking risks, but how do I know if this one's worth it? Well, stay tuned, because I'm about to share with you the astrological secrets of why June is the month for bold moves. Why your instinct to take chances could either pay off big or set you back, and how you can use the stars to make these decisions mindfully. Before we get started, though, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. Because we're about to uncover some major cosmic insights for Sagittarius, and you don't want to miss out on all the wisdom coming your way. Like this video and share it with a Sagittarius friend who needs to hear this. It might just change their life. In the rush of life, we often forget that not all risks lead to clear victories, and not all failures are as bad as they may seem. But for Sagittarius, risk is something that comes naturally. It's almost as if taking chances is not just something they do, but who they are. And while that bold spirit can take them to incredible heights, it can also land them in situations that require deep reflection and growth. In June, the stars are pushing you, Sagittarius, towards some significant opportunities, but there's something you need to remember: not every leap you take will land exactly as you expect. The energy around you right now is ripe for risk, but it's essential to approach it with the wisdom that comes from truly understanding yourself. Think about a time when you jumped into something without fully thinking it through. Maybe it was a new job, a new business venture, or even a relationship. The excitement felt electric, the possibilities endless. You probably didn't have a second thought, trusting your gut that this was the right decision. It's exhilarating, right? That rush of confidence. But then reality hits. Maybe it wasn't as easy as you thought, or things didn't unfold the way you imagined. But here's the catch: while it might have stung, the lesson in it was invaluable. Those kinds of experiences are what shape you. They make you stronger, more aware, and more in tune with what truly matters. That's the risk you run. And it's the risk that can either transform you or teach you something fundamental about yourself. June brings this lesson into sharp focus for you. It's about knowing when to trust your instincts and when to slow down and evaluate. This isn't about playing it safe. In fact, it's the opposite. The stars are aligning to encourage you to take risks that will lead to profound growth. But if you leap without looking, you might miss a key detail that could make the difference between success and struggle. The advice here is simple: take a step back before charging ahead. Don't let the excitement cloud your judgment. Instead of running full speed into a decision, allow yourself a moment to assess. Reflect on your motivations. Is it your fear of missing out driving you, or is it a genuine desire for growth? Are you jumping in because you're passionate? Or is it a knee-jerk reaction to what others are doing? Let's talk about a real example. A Sagittarius I know once moved to a new city with nothing but optimism and the promise of a fresh start. The job offer was there, the excitement was palpable, and the adventure seemed like a dream. But as weeks went by, the reality of the move set in. The job wasn't as fulfilling as they expected. And the city didn't feel like home. They had taken the risk without fully considering the long-term effects. It was a tough situation to be in, but that's where the magic happened. The situation didn't lead to failure, it led to growth. They took the time to reassess what they wanted out of their career, what their true passions were, and what type of environment they wanted to live in. The risk didn't pay off immediately, but it set them on a path toward real fulfillment. That's what risks do for Sagittarians. They challenge you to dig deeper, to find out what truly matters to you. This brings us to a deeper layer of the June energy that's at play. It's not just about big leaps in career or relationships, it's about how those leaps make you feel. You're a fire sign, Sagittarius, and when you commit to something, you pour all of your energy into it. But there's also a psychological aspect to risk-taking that you should be aware of. Sometimes, the risks you take are not just about the end result, they're about proving something to yourself. It's about testing your limits and pushing past them. But here's where things get tricky. If you're constantly seeking external validation, those risks might not be as rewarding as you think. In fact, they could lead to feelings of frustration and disappointment if the outcomes don't align with your expectations. That's why, as you navigate the risks ahead, it's essential to ask yourself, am I doing this for me, or am I doing this because I feel like I need to prove something? When you're living authentically, the risks you take feel like stepping stones to greater wisdom, not just a means to an end. They're part of your personal evolution. If you're constantly chasing the next big thing, however, you might find that each new leap only leads to more dissatisfaction. This is a time to reflect on the internal motivation behind your actions. Take a moment to check in with yourself. Are you chasing something that will truly bring you fulfillment, or are you simply running away from something you fear? The answers you uncover will guide you toward decisions that align with your higher self. A good example of this comes from a close friend who happens to be a Sagittarius. They jumped into a new relationship after an intense period of personal growth. They thought this new person would bring them happiness. Yet after the initial excitement faded, they realized they were seeking validation rather than connection. The relationship, though promising at first, turned out to be a distraction from their own internal work. It took time, but eventually, they understood that the risk they took wasn't just about the relationship, it was about confronting their own fears of loneliness and self-worth. This realization didn't come easily, but it was necessary for their growth. It wasn't the risk that was wrong, it was the underlying motivation behind it that needed to be examined. In the professional sphere, the same principle applies. Many Sagittarians are tempted to take risks that seem like they'll lead to immediate rewards. The lure of fame, fortune, or success can be intoxicating, but is it really what you want in the long run? It's easy to get swept away in the tide of external achievements, but true fulfillment comes from aligning your career with your passions and values. The danger lies in taking risks just for the sake of achieving something, without considering if that something will truly satisfy you on a deeper level. Take the example of someone you might know, or even yourself, who has been chasing the next big promotion or job title, only to find that, once they've achieved it, it didn't bring the satisfaction they thought it would. This is the core issue that many Sagittarians face. There's a tendency to seek outward success while neglecting the inner work that is just as crucial for your happiness and peace. This month, as you contemplate your next move, whether it's a career change or an investment in your personal development, ask yourself, is this the right risk, and is it coming from a place of authenticity? While you're considering these big leaps, another important aspect to keep in mind is timing. June's cosmic energy is strong, and it's pushing you toward new adventures, but the timing is everything. You might feel ready to take that risk, but is it the right time in your personal growth journey? There's a subtle but powerful message in the stars this month: take your time. You don't need to rush headlong into everything. Sure, the universe is calling for change, but it's also asking you to step into it with clarity and confidence. Rushing into anything just because the opportunity is there might leave you feeling ungrounded and uncertain. Think of a Sagittarius who recently had the chance to invest in a startup, one that seemed promising at first glance. The excitement of the opportunity was undeniable, but upon closer inspection, they realized that the startup wasn't quite ready for the kind of investment they were offering. It took time and patience, but stepping back and reflecting on the decision allowed them to make a more informed choice. It's in those moments of pause that the best decisions are often made. So, as June unfolds, take a moment to reflect on your motivations, your timing, and whether the risks you're considering are truly aligned with your deepest values. there's no rush. The stars are guiding you to make big moves, but those moves need to come from a place of clarity and authenticity. The beauty of risk is in its transformative power, but transformation requires self-awareness. Trust yourself, trust the process, and embrace the journey of growth that comes with each decision you make. Remember, it's not about playing it safe, it's about playing it smart. The risks you take this month can set you on the path toward greater things, but only if you're willing to approach them with mindfulness and awareness. And in the end, whether you succeed or face challenges, you'll have grown from the experience. Keep your heart open, trust your intuition, and know that whatever happens, it's all part of your greater journey toward becoming the best version of yourself. But stay with me, because we've got more to uncover. The lessons from June aren't over yet. There's still so much more to explore about the risks ahead and how they'll shape your future. So keep watching, and let's dive deeper into how to navigate this wild ride together. The best is yet to come. There's something uniquely magnetic about Sagittarius. It's the way they carry themselves with confidence and optimism, even when they're about to take a leap into the unknown. For those born under this fire sign, the call of adventure and the thrill of taking risks is simply irresistible. This instinct to explore, to push boundaries, and to seek the next big challenge is embedded deeply in their nature. But, as June approaches, a very specific risk awaits, one that could bring tremendous rewards or significant losses. For Sagittarians, this risk isn't just about opportunity, it's about trusting themselves, their instincts, and the very process of their journey. Have you ever experienced that gut feeling? That sudden surge of excitement that urges you to take action, no matter what? That feeling of knowing you have to act quickly, without hesitation, as though the universe is handing you a golden opportunity? This is exactly how many Sagittarians feel when they take risks. They don't hesitate, they feel like they're meant to take the plunge, to trust the universe and their intuition. But, here's the thing, even for the most adventurous, the most risk-loving, there's always the possibility of things not going as planned. And when that happens, there's a valuable lesson to be learned. Think back to a time when you jumped into something wholeheartedly, without second-guessing yourself. Maybe it was a career move or a relationship that seemed like it had all the potential in the world. At first, everything might have felt aligned. You felt that sense of purpose, that spark of excitement. But then, over time, you started to notice cracks in the foundation. Perhaps the excitement faded, or the outcome wasn't what you expected. It didn't necessarily mean you failed, but it certainly meant you had to learn and adjust. This is the nature of risk. It's about learning to navigate the unknown, even when it doesn't always go as planned. Now, with June's astrological energy kicking into high gear, Sagittarius is being presented with a special opportunity to take a leap, one that could pay off immensely. Jupiter, your ruling planet, brings a sense of expansion and luck, but it also can create the illusion that anything is possible. It's easy to get swept up in the excitement of the moment. But taking that leap without fully assessing the situation can lead to consequences you might not have foreseen. June isn't just about making a decision on a whim, it's about taking calculated risks, weighing your options, and ensuring that the decisions you make now align with your larger vision. This is especially important when it comes to making big career or financial decisions. Perhaps you've been thinking about making a bold move in your career, whether it's asking for a promotion, pursuing a new job opportunity, or even starting a business. The energy of June encourages you to step up. But there's a catch, don't let your excitement cloud your judgment. It's easy to get wrapped up in the idea of what could be, especially with all the possibilities in front of you, but make sure that you're considering the long-term impact of these decisions. Take a moment to step back and ask yourself if this opportunity truly aligns with your values and your bigger goals. The lesson here is not to rush, but to approach risks with a sense of balance and awareness. A Sagittarius I know once took a leap into a new job that seemed perfect on paper. It was everything they had been working toward for years: better pay, a bigger title, and a more prestigious company. The excitement was palpable, But within a few months, they started feeling out of place. The work wasn't fulfilling, and the environment didn't align with their values. They had taken the risk, but they hadn't fully assessed whether it was truly the right fit. This is the danger of acting impulsively without reflecting on whether the opportunity fits your deeper needs. Sometimes, even the most exciting risks can lead to a dead end, and that's okay, it's all part of the process. In the realm of relationships, the same principle applies. Sagittarius tends to rush headfirst into new romantic relationships with the same passion and optimism they bring to their professional endeavors. There's something exciting about meeting someone new, about the possibility of love, but it's important to take the time to really get to know someone before diving in too deep. Relationships are a beautiful risk, but they require a level of emotional intelligence and self-awareness that sometimes gets overlooked in the rush of infatuation. The stars are guiding you toward the risk of vulnerability this month. But you must also be aware of the need for emotional boundaries. This isn't to say that love and passion aren't worth pursuing, they absolutely are. But when you jump in too quickly, you risk losing sight of your own needs in the process. In relationships, it's crucial to understand whether your desires are coming from a place of true connection or if they're driven by the need for validation or excitement. For example, a Sagittarius friend of mine once entered a relationship with someone who seemed perfect on the surface, attractive, charming, successful. But as time passed, they realized that the connection was more about their desire for adventure and less about true compatibility. It's easy to fall for the thrill of a new connection, but the deeper, more lasting relationships come from a foundation of mutual understanding and respect, not just excitement. For many Sagittarians, the desire for personal growth is always intertwined with the desire for freedom. This is where June's energy can be both a blessing and a challenge. The freedom to make bold decisions, to chase after what you want, is intoxicating. But that freedom also requires a level of discipline and awareness that many Sagittarians struggle with. It's easy to be impulsive, to think that everything will work out in the end, but true freedom comes when you learn to balance your natural enthusiasm with a clear sense of purpose. It's about making decisions that serve your growth, not just your immediate desires. For instance, one Sagittarius I know constantly juggles multiple projects and ideas at once. They're always starting new ventures, diving into exciting opportunities, and living life to the fullest. But while this approach can bring a sense of adventure and variety, it often leads to burnout and unfulfilled goals. The trick, as they've learned over time, is to focus on one project at a time and give it your full attention. It's not about restricting your freedom, it's about using that freedom wisely. When you give your energy to one thing at a time, you create space for deeper success and fulfillment. One of the greatest lessons for Sagittarius this month is to trust that the universe will guide you to where you need to go. But also remember that you have a hand in shaping the outcome. The risks you take, the decisions you make, they are all part of your personal journey. It's important to understand that while Jupiter's influence might feel like a constant wave of luck, it's still essential to act with intention. You have the power to shape your own destiny, but you must align your actions with your values, your purpose, and your long-term goals. In the coming weeks, as you face opportunities that challenge you to take risks, remember to ground yourself in your intentions. Don't let excitement alone guide your decisions. Take a step back, reflect, and ask yourself, is this the right risk for me? Is it truly aligned with your values? Is it something that will bring you long-term growth, or is it just a fleeting moment of excitement? Your natural optimism is a gift, but it's important to pair that gift with a clear, thoughtful approach. June's energy invites you to take risks, yes, but it also asks you to take responsibility for the outcomes of those risks. Trust in the process, but also trust in your own ability to make wise, conscious decisions. Every leap you take, no matter the outcome, will shape your path forward. The key is to move forward with awareness and confidence, knowing that each risk, each challenge, is just another step toward becoming the best version of yourself. Stay with me, because in the next part of this journey, we'll dive even deeper into how to navigate the risks and challenges ahead. There's much more to explore, and I promise you, it's all going to be worth it. Keep your heart open, your mind clear, and let's continue this adventure together. As June unfolds, the energy for Sagittarians is high, and with that comes the potential for significant personal transformation. But as we've seen, with the immense opportunity also comes the chance for a misstep. The energy in the air is inviting you to take risks, to expand and grow, but the real challenge lies in knowing when those risks are worth taking. We've talked about some of the potential risks you might encounter: career moves, relationships, financial decisions, but there's another layer to this: the internal risks you'll face, the ones that push you toward deeper self-discovery. This isn't just about making decisions in the outer world. It's about the risks you take within. Sagittarius, you're ruled by Jupiter, the planet of expansion and growth. This makes you naturally optimistic, always looking for the bigger picture, always envisioning the grand possibilities. But sometimes, that same expansive energy can cause you to overlook the nuances of your inner world, the doubts, the fears, the deep-rooted patterns that you've been avoiding. In June, these internal challenges might surface, especially when it comes to trusting yourself. You're not just risking your career or relationships, you're risking a deeper sense of your own worth, your abilities, and your growth. For example, let's consider how Sagittarians often approach their goals. There's that exhilarating feeling when you set your sights on something new, a business, a career path, an artistic venture. The excitement is palpable, the dream is clear, and you dive right in, full speed ahead. But there's always that nagging voice that questions your ability to succeed. What if you're not good enough? What if you fail? That voice of self-doubt isn't always easy to deal with, but it's a risk that's worth facing head-on. The key is not to ignore those feelings but to move forward in spite of them. The internal risk here is recognizing that failure is a natural part of the journey, and it's not a reflection of your worth. When you step into that space of self-trust, you create a foundation of resilience, one that helps you handle any external risks with grace and wisdom. In the past, I've witnessed a Sagittarius friend take an entrepreneurial risk. They were full of ambition, ready to take the plunge into the world of business. The excitement was contagious, but there was a part of them that doubted their ability to make it happen. In the early stages, they faced setbacks, financial challenges, moments of self-doubt, and even moments of considering throwing in the towel. Yet, it was their ability to keep trusting in themselves and pushing forward that led to eventual success. It wasn't about avoiding self-doubt. It was about accepting it, learning from it, and moving forward despite it. This internal risk of trusting yourself, even when you're unsure, is what will carry you through June, especially as the stakes feel higher. As we move into the second part of this cosmic adventure, it's essential to remember that no risk is without its lessons. It's easy to see the opportunity, the shiny promise of success, the allure of victory, but risk also comes with the potential for failure. And while no one likes to fail, it's often through failure that the most profound lessons are learned. As a Sagittarius, you know better than anyone that failure is not the end, it's simply another part of the process. And June, with its potent energy, will provide plenty of opportunities for learning. Let's take a step back and consider the risks you might take in your career. We've already discussed how you might feel drawn to jump into a new job or start a new business venture. But what if that venture doesn't work out? What if you pour all your energy into something, and it falls apart? Will you give up, or will you see it as an opportunity to learn, pivot, and try again? Sagittarians are known for their ability to rise from the ashes, to keep moving forward, no matter the obstacles in their way. There's something powerful about the resilience you possess. When you fail, you don't stay down for long. Instead, you dust yourself off, learn from the experience, and go back to the drawing board with even more determination. Think about the moments in your life when you faced setbacks. Maybe a business venture didn't pan out, or a relationship ended unexpectedly. In those moments, it would have been easy to give up, to think that perhaps the universe was telling you to stop. But what you've learned over time is that failure doesn't define you, it refines you. It's the mistakes and challenges that sharpen your instincts, that teach you where to adjust your approach, and that help you discover a deeper understanding of yourself. In June, you'll have to navigate that dance between taking risks and embracing the lessons that come from those risks, no matter the outcome. The truth is, Sagittarius, the most significant risk you face this month might not be in the big, bold decisions you make. It could be in the small, everyday choices you make that affect your emotional and mental well-being. It's easy to get swept up in the excitement of new opportunities, but remember that taking care of your inner world is just as important as taking risks in the outer world. If you don't take the time to recharge, to nurture your mental health, and to ground yourself, those external risks might feel overwhelming. Self-care is often overlooked when we're chasing big goals, but it's one of the most important aspects of any successful venture. In the hustle of June, it's easy to forget to slow down. But let me remind you that slowing down isn't about stopping, it's about allowing yourself the space to reflect, to rejuvenate, and to regain clarity. Take a walk in nature, meditate, journal your thoughts, or spend time with loved ones. These small moments of self-care will help you maintain the energy you need to take risks wisely. It's easy to become so fixated on the future that you forget to enjoy the present moment, and that's where you might miss the deeper lessons. This month, balance your ambition with peace of mind. It's in this balance that the real magic happens. You may be thinking, but if I slow down, I might miss out on something. This fear of missing out, of not being able to seize every opportunity, can drive you to make rash decisions. But true success doesn't come from rushing, it comes from aligning your actions with purpose. By giving yourself space to breathe and reflect, you ensure that the risks you take are aligned with your deepest desires and values. As we bring this video to a close, Sagittarius, I want to leave you with this thought. The risks you take in June are significant, but it's your approach that will determine their impact. The stars are aligning in your favor, but it's up to you to step forward with confidence, self-trust, and mindfulness. Don't rush, trust the process, trust yourself, and know that no matter what happens, you will learn and grow from every experience. The risks you take this month may not all lead to instant success, but they will guide you toward greater self-awareness and a deeper understanding of your path. So, step into June with courage, but also with the awareness that taking risks is not about avoiding failure, it's about embracing growth and transformation. If you've found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Zen Mind Peaceful Life. There's more to come as we continue to explore the cosmic energies that shape our lives. Keep trusting yourself, keep growing, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay mindful, stay present, and remember, the journey is just as important as the destination.